do you sound so sarcastic when you say that?
So yeah, Virtus.pro, a lot of early base damage coming up from the Timbersaw. Enchantress focusing on the lanes. TB, if he does not have a good lane, can always go back to the jungle. Panel discussed about how Spectre does really well against the Timbersaw, and it really shows. I was really not expecting that it does so good, and it does. Apparently it does.
And you were actually calling for a lifestealer this game for VP, but they ended up going for the Terrorblade instead. What are your thoughts on... I mean, this is the hero, this is the carry of the patch, it feels like. Yeah, for some reason, it feels like it always gets through as well.
Looking at what they got, their heroes are not really good, especially the supports, killing the illusion, so they will have this issue of shoving out the waves. I guess that's the main reason. Carry-to-carry matchup is also great. I'd prefer maybe a lifestealer because they didn't have any kind of a burst damage, and he has freeway coming out of the Mars Arena, and just Spectre against Lifestealer. Lifestealer comes online a bit quicker and makes Spectre's life miserable.
Yep, sounds good to me. I do love me some Lifestealer. As we have VP versus Alliance, game 1 of this best of 3. So who do you have, Mr. Lacoste?
Who do I have?
Yeah.
I'd call this 65 for Virtus.pro, 35 Alliance.
Wow, that's pretty steep. Okay.
It is good. I feel like both the Dark Willow and Hoodwink are relatively squishy. You have Mars who goes in, Spectre with the confusion. Good thing is they have no real save inside the arena, so this is a big team fight. Leshrac coming in, Mars Arena, Spectre with the Haunt, so whoever, especially the supports, whoever gets caught inside, they should be focusing on the supports and deal with the rest of the team later, because Spectre, as Panel mentioned, does a pure damage, one of the reasons why she does really well against the Timbersaw.
Yep, as long as he's alone, of course. Yeah, Desolate, pretty nice overall. And VP known as, I guess I was going to say the online kings, because they haven't performed so well on land. But then again, Alliance is kind of in the same category these days, which is actually more surprising than anything. Because from VP's perspective, it's just a bunch of young players. They don't have that much experience on land. Obviously, with COVID and all, have been pretty limited in that regard. So. What was your choice for the tournament overall?
The whole tournament, I picked VP because I believe in their strength. They feel much more comfortable playing online gamers. They need some more experience, as I think everyone said already multiple times. But yeah, strong team, has a ton of potential, a bunch of young players that just know how to click the buttons.
Yep, clicking the buttons is important in a game like Dota 2. Are there any games that you don't click buttons and that being important? Maybe chess. Online chess, though, another story.
You also need to click the buttons, yeah.
That's definitely true. All right, so very early on, you can see that Mars is actually the top CS right now. So S4 having a pretty good time down here for now. Nightfall basically trading, as he now is in his meta form, so should be getting the advantage there for now.
I love this 1 point in reflection that TBs start to put a lot of harassment, zone them out, especially if there's Orb of Venom on any of the heroes, you reflect it back, so you need to be very careful about this. GPK, something that has been a very popular build throughout the major, double null talismans on Invoker and then turn it into most likely Urn, Spirit Vessel, go back to Hand of Midas if needed. Depends like how the game develops. If he gets any of the kills early on, like that Urn is very valuable. And they have a ton of AoE damage. This is something that Dark Willow does not like to play into. Same goes for Hoodwink. Both heroes relatively squishy. Disruptor provides you with the vision, Thunderstrike, so you can always have that. Glimpse back.
Yeah, for sure. As Hanskin and Kingslayer having a 1v1 battle for the ages here. Shadow Realm is popped.
Okay.
Kingslayer will live. It's only level 1 right now. I mean, on the other side, as you see EMP, and this is the reason that GPK is playing the Quaswex Invoker against the Leshrac. Obviously, draining that mana is going to be pretty valuable throughout the game. But, I mean, Alliance's side, let's talk about them for a bit. We have the old tried and true Terrorize into Mars Arena, which I feel like sounds amazing on paper, but is it just me that teams in general rarely actually pull it off in games? I don't get to see it as often.
That's the same feeling that I get. It's strong on paper, but in theory, most of the time, it's just like either one hero. We'll see. Once Mars gets a Blink Dagger, it's going to be much easier to execute. Spectre will provide you with the vision, so you could potentially just get a bigger arena.
Yep, for sure. Nightfall now top of the CS, but it's basically the same for Spectre, Mr. Nico Baby himself. working on the Echo Saber, which, would you agree with Echo Saber this game over the Blade Mail, which we've kind of seen, I mean, for the most part, people getting Echo Saber every single game, but sometimes we've discussed that it's just not the right choice. And there is a decent amount of AoE on VP's side.
Yeah, you're playing into Invoker, into Timbersaw, but like even the Static Storm mid lane, Limp.
Yeah, he's taking a lot of damage. Cold Snap is there, Enchant to
that's the
follow
first
for save, and Impetus and the right clicks. It's first blood going the way of Virtus.pro, the online kings, until they prove it on land, Lacoste.
We have online gamers and we have on-land gamers.
That's true. And it's funny because back in the day, when you called somebody an onliner...
that was an insult,
yeah,
right?
Well, it literally meant that they were cheating. That was like an FPS term. Onliners like, oh, you're wall hacking, and then you get to land and you don't have it anymore, so you suck.
I wasn't
Obviously,
aware of that.
Not really the case in Dota. You can't really wall hack, as far as I know, at least. You know.
Yeah, but the good rotation from Save there, being able to cut from the back lines, uses a Tornado, extra slow from the Enchant, and also we have this Quasvex Invoker, so a lot of control coming out early on. Lashrak this time around, putting 2 points in the Lightning Storm. About the bottom lane, Kingslayer.
And we're going to see the Bramble into the Spear. Does connect, but S4's taking the one taking a heavy damage from Nightfall's meta.
Something that off-lane Mars were doing quite a lot during the Major is buying this Ring of Health as a casual item. Just keep it. You don't necessarily need to upgrade it if you don't feel like it. If you don't think you need a hood, maybe save it later on for potentially Lotus Orb.
As we see some rotation here from Save right now. He's going to run right into FNG. We can talk about Hoodwink in just a moment here because every single person I cast with has very different opinions on this hero, as the Impetus did a lot of damage.
Yeah, half
on Hoodwink.
half HP taken there
It's
by
level
one
2.
Impetus.
It's level 2. It's fine.
I don't think Hoodwink will be able to get too much done in this game, especially in the laning stage. You don't actually do any kind of damage to the Timbersaw.
As we see Thunderstrike. Nice blocks from Nightfall into S4. Tries to get a rebuke off. Looks like it'll save him. It does take heavy damage in return. FNG does TP down, though.
He has a healing salve. That's his whole purpose, pretty much, of the TP, because Dark Willow did not have one ready. They just want to keep the pressure and potentially get a kill, but top lane.
Top with the Impetus. So much pure damage to work through.
And this is also
kill for VP.
A catapult wave, so they will deal a lot of tower damage. I love the pairing Enchantress with the Timber, so if it's a good lane for Timber, if they can't kill him, and they can't, Spectre plus Hoodwink, they actually deal no damage whatsoever early on. Enchantress can be in the jungle, the reason why we see Save going to the mid lane. Rotation from Invoker.
And we see more rotation here. As S4 is just getting demolished inside that kinetic field. Good rotation from VP, ends up netting them the offlaner. And might be able to get more. Hanskin getting chased by GPK, but he doesn't have any skills online right now, so we'll just maneuver himself back to that mid lane, which, I mean, this is really early on, but a 2K net worth lead for VP already.
Yeah, you can't play around the Timbersaw, 4 points in reactive armor, you just don't have enough damage to kill him. To go back to the Hoodwink, I feel this hero gained some popularity for a reason, feels relatively strong.
Right,
but
before you go on, were you a hater first?
No, like when I first started playing Hero, I didn't think it's good. And then when I played like 20, 30 games, I felt the hero has potential.
Yeah, we're going to see the spear into the tree.
Thunder.
Nightfall. He actually does pick up Sunder, and that might turn this around. Nico Baby already popped his haunt, so he's down here. And DM, oh, the nice Hoodwink stun coming out. The bushwhack, very successful. Is Nico Baby getting chased even more? DM with the chakram, slowing him down, and it's a double kill for him.
Oh, that's a disaster for Alliance. The first usage of the Haunt, they don't get any kills. They also lose the carry, and Terrorblade survives. I also believe... No, he didn't. The DM actually got a double kill there, and now Terrorblade can go back into the jungle, keep farming. He already took the tower, rotates to the bottom lane. This Timbersaw is going to be a huge issue.
Yeah.
He's itemization going into Hood, so no real damage coming out from the Lashrak or Mars. Meanwhile, on the mid lane, starting to put some pressure on a mid tower. Earn already done on Invoker.
This is against the Lesh lineup as well, where typically you're the one that's going to be losing your towers relatively early, but we can see VP definitely not suffering from that at all. And
when Invoker made a rotation, they have a glyph available with the catapult wave. So Lashrak used the edict, they instantly glyph, and they rotate one of the heroes. So VP having a great understanding what needs to be done in this game and where the real threat comes from.
Yeah, off to an amazing start here. This is very close to getting out of control. in VP's favor. As Nico Baby, there's a stack here. Save takes one of the creeps with him, and with DM, they should be able to just clean this up easily.
They even use Tornado. They have 2 Tornadoes. They actually have Tornadoes. With
2 Tornadoes.
yeah.
Wow. You can make a sequel of a movie called that. That's
or Tornadoes. Uno, dos.
Oh,
yeah,
it's the
there
Spanish
you
version.
go.
Yeah, I like that. Very nice. You'd be good at coming up with titles for TV shows and movies, I think. You ever see Sharknado?
I did a classic. One of my favorite ones. Has probably 2.4 out of 10 on IMDb.
Yeah.
It has like 7 or 8 movies.
I'm not surprised. Somehow people like these type of movies. But so Alliance's stacks in the regular jungle get taken out, but this will give them a little bit of golden XP. Of course, they are sharing with 4 people, so this just shows the desperation on Alliance's side. And I mean, from their perspective, what do you need to do? Leshrac needs to find an opening to get some towers, I would assume, to open this map up a bit.
Yeah, I want to see next rotation to the bottom tower, be able to kill it. Right now, they have no vision whatsoever there, and the one ward is scouting things out, so any kind of TP rotation that is not a smoke rotation will be scouted out. The glimpse level 2 should be enough.
Into the kinetic field. GPK, he comes in on top of a Bramble, gets done with the Cursed Crown, but it's not going to matter. So much damage from the EMP, and another death for Nico Baby. This is not what you want to see if you're an Alliance fan.
Definitely not. And also both supports for Alliance, level 4 and level 5. You need ultis. You need ultis finally. We see Dark Willow hitting level 6 after using the Tome, I believe. Because she was level 4. And now at least you have some damage coming up from the Bedlam. You have a way of protecting the teammates or execute Arena of Blood combo.
Is that what they call it? There's no blood, though. It's just Arena, and it's a nightmare, essentially.
It is. Arena of Blood is the official name of the spell.
No, I meant we need to call that combo something.
Oh, yeah.
The Arena of Terrorize, or something like that. Okay, Shadow Realm inside the Kinetic Field Static Storm combo. He's ticking down really low with the Spirit Vessel applied as well, and just to make sure he dies, the Glimpse. So 7-0 VP.
I love this new build on Invoker. Double Null, as we mentioned, going into Spirit Vessel to have that extra damage. No one is tanky enough to survive through the Spirit Vessel charges, and going back to Hand of Midas, so you scale, possibly gets either Boots of Travel or straight into Aghanim Scepter. You don't have that many stuns. They actually don't have any stuns, but yeah, still, Cataclysm is always going to be a big threat. You need to move around the map. Maybe Kinetic Field could potentially hold them in place for it.
Yeah, it's kind of cool because I feel like this is a newer thing that we've been seeing, especially at the Animajor, where...
Oh, yeah. I've been seeing a lot of different builds in the Season 2. Like Hand of Midas Rush into Witchblade, into Boots of Travel.
Sounds
not
greedy.
a fan, yeah. Sounds horrible.
If it works, you know? It's all
it
about
never
the
works, that's the problem.
Well, okay, then that's garbage. But this allows him to have a presence early on. Obviously, the Spirit Vessel is going to have value overall, but allows you to actually gank people, and then in the same time, you get the Midas. It's not just about the money. I mean, attack speed on him with the Alacrity is really good, but the levels is the biggest
It's about
thing.
the XP, exactly. Getting those points in Exert, because you start with Colossal X, and you want to have that Cataclysm as soon as possible. DM going into full pipe. Once he gets that pipe online, there's literally no damage. Alliance nullify the ulti from the Hoodwink, from Dark Willow, like Leshrac as well. Leshrac also struggling a bit. I want to see what the next item for the Lesh is going to be. I'm not a big fan of Boots of Travel into Yules anymore. I believe you need to be able to tank up, get Kaya Sanj as the next item, possibly even like a BKB. Would prefer if it's a Kaya Sanj. Just
We've been seeing a lot of Eternal Shroud on Lesh. What are your thoughts on that for the hero?
I think you need to skip Yule Scepter. Eternal Shroud into Kaya Sanj seems fine.
Okay. Well, does have
but
the
against the
Yules in
Spirit
place.
Vessel, Eternal Shroud, like you don't get as much HP back as you would want to.
Yeah, the Yules does set up a lot of stuff for them, though. They don't really have a ton of like instant lockdown without like a Blink Dagger on Mars, which looks like S4 is still working on right now. Does have, his farm is just really, really not good at the moment. But if they can find a gank here, a successful one at least with this smoke, this could help turn things around.
This could be potentially a first kill for Alliance. Like, you need to get that one on the board. Very important for the team morale.
Sentry comes out. They're going to get this Edict on the tower for now, but here comes the turnaround from VP. Static Storm into the kinetic field. The Yules is going to keep him alive a little bit longer, but not long enough. Nightfall in that... Oh, he actually is going to live for now on the Leshrac as S4 drops inside his Margarina, but no.
The GPK, he snipes him, and they instantly tip him. That stun strike gets him. That was a ballsy play from Alliance, going inside the trees, and where could he possibly be? You see Edict on your tower, that's pretty much the only spot where Leshrac stands, so they immediately open up with the Static Storm and follow it up by a kinetic field.
FNG's dead, Alacrity applied, and yeah, I guess Save will take it for himself, the support tax, as it were.
Now we're gonna see that one again. You see damage being done, set up with the Tornado into Static Storm, the damage coming out from the Timber Saw, like they just don't have enough. He also gets glimpsed back into the Static Storm just for a brief moment. They just don't have enough damage. Like this lineup deals no damage whatsoever. Also going back to the Hoodwink 3-2-0 build, when you play position 4, position 5, you don't put more than 1 point in the Acorn shot.
Yeah,
maybe the reasoning here is because I mentioned they don't have anyone who pushes the waves that quickly, like both supports. If you want to push out the wave, you need to use the Bedlam plus possibly a Bramble Maze on top of it.
Yeah, but it is strange.
Yeah, not even a point in Scurry.
The Bushwhack, that's typically what we've seen completely maxed out first, and like you said, the value level of Scurry, just to be able to walk through the trees is kind of a huge aspect of the hero itself. But yeah, choosing to max out Acorn Shot, which... Again, like if you were playing a core, not that we see this too often, but a core Hoodwink, then...
Sounds good.
Yeah, that's what you would want to get, like a Maelstrom or something.
Not a big fan. Same goes for Dark Willow. She's maxing out Shadow Realm instead of the Bramble Maze. They have ton of damage. Static Storm, anything from Invoker, Timber Saw. So the value that you get from Shadow Realm in this game is not too valuable.
All
just
right,
reducing the cooldown, yeah.
Who for Alliance
gets the first kill? Yeah, and I know your question.
You know me too well.
I'll say Nico Baby.
Nico Baby, okay.
Yeah.
Well, GPK, with the help of DM, trying to find a kill here. Bushwhack is going to connect on FNG inside the trees. Okay, Timber Chain right by him. No vision on him right now, though. This is without Scurry, by the way.
Apparently actually, you don't need it if you know all the spots where to hide.
I guess so. And somehow Alliance actually avoids death there, but they don't avoid this deficit that they're at right now. 7,000 net worth at 16 minutes. Mine is finally picked up now, like we talked about before on the Invoker. So I feel like things are just going to snowball out of control now in VP's favor. I mean, once this Blink Dagger comes online for S4, that is kind of the go time. He is a couple hundred away as they do get the Tier 1 tower finally. But this will provide them some initiation, and I mean, it's not the true Wombo combo, but if they get the Terrorize, that could have pretty big implications on the fight.
It could, yeah. They need to be able to initiate. Blink Dagger is done, no TP for him. So let's see if they defend this Tier 2 tower. DM already cutting down all the trees, so they know that Hoodwink is not there. Finally, Hoodwink has a point in Scurry.
Okay, okay. But the Tier 2 tower will still fall. And maybe don't take Scurry against Timber Saw. He just cuts down all your trees anyway, right? Maybe that's the thought process.
It's not a good Hoodwink game to start with. You have Leshrac, who can cut down the tree with the Split Earth on top of it. You have Timber Saw as well. So not too much value from it. Limp buys Boots of Travel in the end. Yule Scepter, Boots of Travel. Problem is, TB melts you. You get close to him. If you're not tanky enough, you have 1,200 HP. We've seen yesterday. Carl, his Leshrac, not even putting any points in the Lightning, just being able to take the stats, tank up. I like that quite a lot more.
Yeah, Lightning Storm has always been this very awkward spell on the hero. Remember back in the day?
You're a hater. Like, every single time we talk in our green room about Leshrac, you're like, Lightning Storm is bad.
I've literally never said that in my life.
I heard you saying it like 4 times in the last 3 days. What do you mean? It's just the wording was different.
You're pulling a Jenkins right now, just creating a false narrative. You've been hanging around with that degenerate for a little bit too long, I think. It's FNG in the trees again here, as there is a sentry spotting GPK, but he's going to be just fine. I mean, from VP side, it feels like they're not really in a rush. They know that they're out farming Alliance. Maybe they don't know by the amount.
But if they look at the scoreboard, they see that Alliance has 0 kills
Yes,
per
that
minute,
helps.
so that helps quite a lot. They can go inside the pit. Roshan is available, so is Meta. And we see TB also getting points in Attribute instead of putting more points in Reflection, which I really like.
Oh, we're going to see Nightfall pop the Metamorphosis, and S4 is just destroyed.
Yeah, they're close to Rosh, so they will go inside the pit. Take the Roshan, TB, extremely strong. SNY done, plus a BKB. He wants to be able to get outside of the arena, not to... Like, there is no real physical damage coming out yet. Edict, you don't care too much about it. You have, what, 24 armor at the moment, and the damage coming out from Spectre is relatively low at the moment. So inside the pit, tank it up. DM getting some stacks. Full hood, I don't think he even used the pipe, sorry, at all.
Oh, Hanskin trying to take over the outpost again, but he's going to get spotted out inside the Shadow Realm now, but stuck inside the kinetic field. Not even needing the Sunstrike. The impetus is enough. And in the meanwhile, Nightfall basically solos Roche. So, yeah, this is a big yikes for Alliance for sure. I mean, from their perspective, like, what's the next step? Non-Mimi next step.
Non-Mimi,
Yeah.
Spectre has a Diffusal Blade coming, so that's gonna be some damage, especially on the supports. I'm thinking that they're in a rough spot, you know. You don't have to be an expert to check the scoreboard and see that they have 0 20 minutes in.
Is this deceiving, though, the scoreline?
Not in this game. I've seen the games where a team has no kills whatsoever, but in terms of what they're doing and how their lineup can scale, I wouldn't be too worried.
Do you think it was a draft issue?
Yeah, like panel discussed about the Dark Willow and the Hoodwink pretty much doing the same thing. Last Rack, he gets shut down. Good early rotations from the Virtus.pro. They know where the damage is going to come from. Then back to the bottom lane. Mars gets killed. Spectre needs time. First rotation also from Spectre, not very effective. She dies instead of getting a kill.
Yeah, FNG just trying to split push as best he can.
Hanskin on the mid
level
lane.
4 Acorn shot definitely does a good job. Yep, Hanskin dead again. I mean, at this point, it just feels like Alliance is just hanging around the trees, just trying to be annoying, trying to delay the game for Spectre to come online, which, I mean, I'm not sure at what stage the Spectre will be feared from VP's perspective, but still quite a ways away. I mean, the top 3 net worths in the game are all on VP right now.
Their late game is not even stronger than Virtus.pro. You have Terrorblade, you have Invoker, who's going BKB next.
Oh, they find him. Limp, Static Storm, Kinetic Field, gets the Yules off, but you have to think it's only an inevitable death here for Limp. And Deafening Blast, and still 0 kills for Alliance. 14-0, and now Tier 2 tower will likely fall as Nico Baby finds himself in the arms of DM. On the other side, Nightfall trying to maneuver himself around this Bramble. Looks like Nico will get out, but the Tier 2 tower likely is going to fall here.
They're so far ahead, they can play aggressively on 2 different sides of the map, and another Tier 2 tower about to fall. Nightfall gets the last hit. Meta is available, so let's see. They're going to go for the high ground.
Alacrity Meta. That's a lot of damage. Holy jeez. And Nightfall, of course, with that Aegis still for 2.5 minutes, has the full charged BKB and the SNY for the extra status resist. Okay, here we go. S4 with the arena, gets the spear up, but Nightfall with the BKB. He just walks casually right out, gets the Sunder, as well as S4 is just dying in the midst of his Mars arena. And there's the first kill of the game.
There we have it.
Hanskin gets it, so you were incorrect, Lacoste. Good effort, though, my friend.
Yeah, put your Hanskin in the air for this big kill that they just got. Still, tower is alive. Nightfall does not have Sunder available.
That is true. He still has Aegis, though, of course, as Meta's running out shortly. Curse Crown. All right. I think Alliance has actually defended here, at least for now. Able to dodge that tornado, but still a very large lead for VP. And again, like, there's no rush. Like you said, they outscale them. And
next meta
Aegis is up for a minute and a half.
They're also controlling both of the outposts, so Alliance is not getting any XP from that. We're gonna see that one more time.
Oh,
could win.
Here we go. No, this is the Shadow Realm kill, I believe, right? Look at this.
From downtown, is it the Shadow
Realm? Oh, boom! That was the only kill of the game for Alliance so far. Speaking of kills, S4 will be taking a tumble in the bot lane. Yeah, it feels Like from a Mars, when your team, like when you lose every lane, it just feels so bad for Mars because you jump in, you're trying to set things up, but you just don't have enough farm to do anything. And there's not enough levels on your team to actually get kills at this stage.
Problem is, he jumps in, he's dead, no doubt about it. Unless he just uses Arena and tries to walk back, but there is going to be some kind of a slow, either Reflection, either anything from Invoker, combination with the Cold Snap Spirit Vessel. You still have nothing to dispel things with. Working towards the BKB, still a long way ahead of him. Spectre's farming nicely, so considering rest of the team,
what we're watching.
Yeah, exactly. Like Spectre is having decent amount of farm, Diffusal Blade done, plus Echo Saber, so damage will be there.
As we see Hanskin again trying to create as much space as possible. Limp is on the other side. GPK takes quite a bit of damage, but Sunstrike is coming. He's actually going to dodge it, but the right clicks with the Spirit Vessel are going to be enough. Get yet another charge for GPK. Limp is in the vicinity of this, though.
Oh, that's going to be another one.
The split art. Oh, okay, Limp. Another Lightning Storm to go. All right, Lightning Storm's a great spell, Lacoste. As we're going to see the Rebuke miss, but break applied to Enchantress for now. Gets the heal off. There is the Arena with the Spear. But on the other side is Nightfall. Gets the Reflection off S4, attempting to TP out. But that damage from the Impetus is yet again going to be enough. FNG. All right, they have some high ground wards here. The Tinker wards, as it were. Looks to be safe.
This is something that I noticed Jin does quite a lot whenever he plays Hoodwink. Just puts the anti-Tinker ward save. We'll find in Courier. One more
vision.
Impetus.
Oh! Wait, what?
GPK managed to snipe him. Easy clap. He gets tip.
Oh, man. Yeah,
even FNG, nice. You know, respect him. He knows exactly where he's going to TP, double-click straight into the Alliance Fountain. Finds him in the end. So, yeah, JPK was thinking about getting a BKB. Doesn't feel like he needs it at the moment. Gets the Aghanim Scepter, has Boots of Travel queued up to be able to outpush the wave and possibly set things up. The reason why I'm not a big fan of Leshrac Boots of Travel, especially in a losing game, you get Yule Scepter and Boots of Travel. Yeah, you have move speed, but you, most of the time, stay for that one extra wave and they punish you because you want to get the value out of the item.
It actually goes for the Lightning Storm damage talent as well. That's kind of cool to see. Oh, the Tornado just barely clips him.
Cataclysm.
It's a Cataclysm, actually. The Yule's going to keep him safe for now, but no. Not so much, actually. He takes a meatball to the face. And yeah, this is a beyond shellacking right now.
Beyond shellacking? Is that...
well, I haven't... We have to wait till the end of the game to get the official rating. This might have a mustache on it. I'll just say that right now.
Okay.
Gaben's watching. 20-2. The game at the Major that I cast that was the top hat Gaben shellacking was 3 kills overall. Or I even forget what team it was at this point, but see if they can break that at least. As we see Timbersaw's working towards a shard, so that just gives them extra push potential.
What a cute little play.
What happened?
Enchantress used Glimmer Cape on Dark Troll and now gets initiation with the instant.
Oh. As FNG dies? Okay, it happened. Nightfall, in the meantime, has his Crystallis going for the Daedalus. This is pretty much the typical build we've been seeing from basically every Terrorblade.
Now, just get a bit of a status resistance. Scotty, the best item pretty much you can get. Some damage, some from Daedalus, and then going into Satanic. So we see a lot of saves coming out from the TBs once they get that Satanic. They use Sunder into Satanic. Both heroes full HP. Roshan may respawn in 2 seconds. Let's see when it's gonna spawn. Minute and 40.
Okay.
So if Virtus.pro just wants to play it safe, they can keep doing what they're doing right now. Push 2 waves, potentially kill one of the heroes that is split pushing, and then go inside the pit. Right now, Nightfall's cutting things out inside the pit with his illusion to see whether Roshan is alive or not.
Yeah, how about the high ground defense for Alliance? Like we talked about with the skills that they've taken and the talents that they've chosen to go down. They can kill waves really fast, but how is their actual high ground defense once VP gets there?
Not great. You have Lightning Storm, potentially, like,
maybe if you get the shard on Lesh?
Sure. Spear back into tier 4 towers. into Bramble, into Hoodwink ulti. Break mechanic, good, decent against the Timber, not the greatest. Mars, he's in.
Yep, he sure is. S4
There's
to
the
terrorize
combo.
onto 3 heroes. Cataclysm to follow, though, as Nightfall is just beating the crap out of everybody in that meta BKB form. Kingslayer was the first to fall, so Alliance with another kill. It's going to cost him S4 and Nico Baby doing a lot of damage to GPK, but Nico Baby just getting kited now, and the Impetus looks to be finishing him off. And now Alliance on the run without the position 1 Spectre.
Unfortunately, they do not have a glimpse available, so their chase potential is not as strong. Alliance didn't know when Roche was spawning, so they try to go for the play. They get 1 kill again on Disruptor. I love that Disruptor is going for Ags this game. He's preparing for the late game, so there are not going to be any BKBs. They have a good way of setting things up with just either a glimpse or Tornado from Invoker.
FNG just, I guess, wasting time here. He took the outpost after the minute mark, so wasn't getting that XP. But,
GPK.
Lamp, making use
He
of that
needs
boost of travel. Split Earth is there with the Pulse Nova to follow. DM in the vicinity, though. They're going to be able to take out FNG very quickly. Now Limp, extremely fast and on the run.
Now GPK is going to find him. BKB available in 13 seconds.
Yep, still chasing right now. Looks like GPK still taking some damage, but now Limp finally caught out. And with DM, he has the flamethrower on top of all this damage. And they find yet another kill. Now, is this more of a delay tactic? I mean, they're already in the high ground.
Yeah,
so.
they have TB with no meta for 60 seconds, but there is enough damage to take down the barracks, especially when Invoker comes and use Alacrity on TB. Finally, Dark Willow has the shard, so there's going to be a lot of Bramble Mazes around.
That's right. S4 jumps in and pretty much dies right away. And there you see the Terrorize combo. It looks good on paper. In reality, maybe not so much. But when you're down this much, of course, things are going to look a little bit more lopsided.
That's what I mentioned. He jumps in and he's dead.
Oh!
Snipes him one more time.
Yeah, this 27-3. Will Alliance get another kill? God.
Let me see. Invoker half HP will pick up the regeneration, come back to the fight, push the top wave. I would say no.
GG's call. Great call. Thank you. Thank you so. Okay, this was a top hat Gaben shellacking. Gaben in a top hat shellacking.
Yeah, it was a great performance from Virtus.pro. From the start, the rotation to the mid lane, enabling your Invoker. He had an extreme